Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up and start programming in the Kotlin programming language on a Linux based machine. It could be Ubuntu, it could be another distro. Okay, so what we are going to do is download the IntelliJ IDEA to be able to code in Kotlin. So if we go to Google Chrome and get rid of that, and if you literally just Google actually, if you Google Kotlin, I want to show you something first. Go to kotlinlang.org, so that is their official website. If you scroll down, there's a bunch of resources on here as well, but there's a few different ways that you can run Kotlin. You can use the IntelliJ IDEA, which is what we're going to be using. Use Android Studio, which is under the assumption that you're going to be developing for Android. You can use Eclipse, which is a very popular language, so if you want to go down that route, you can download a plugin for it, or you can compile it using terminal or command line depending on your operating system. Like I said, I want to go down this route. The reason is IntelliJ IDEA is made by JetBrains. JetBrains is the developer of Kotlin programming language. That's the reason why. If you just go to instructions, scroll down and let's go to here, Community Edition. You can go directly to the JetBrains website if you like as well, and just download the Community Edition right here. And I'm going to cancel it because I've already got it downloaded. If you have access to the ultimate version, maybe via your company or university, for example, that's fine. The coding is the same. That's all you need to download. So now, if you go to where we actually downloaded it, go to Downloads, and if you right click and if we just extract it, so if we just extract here, it's a gigabyte file. So depending on how fast your internal drive is, it might take a little bit of time. Mine's an SSD, so not too long. And in here, we want to run the idea.sh within the bin folder. So within the bin folder, we want to run this. So we open up terminal, and what we need to do is type in cd, which is change directory, and we're going to change to the bin directory. If you just drag and drop that on, click enter. Now we want to run the idea.sh to just confirm you're in the right folder. If you type ls, it'll list all the files there. As you can see, idea.sh is there. So if I type in /idea.sh and I click enter, this will now run the IDE. Okay, so depending on whether or not you've already done this before, because I already did this before the video, just to go through the steps, you may have like a little bit of extra setup to do. All that is it's just asking you, what theme do you want, just some basic stuff, nothing crazy. If you just go through that process and then you'll land right here. Once you actually get to this stage, we can actually create a new project. So click create new project, and what we want to do is select a Kotlin JVM. We also need the JDK because yeah, we need the JDK, so because it's going to be using that to compile it. So if you just go here and you want to download the JDK, where is the JDK link? So this is just the SE. Oh, there it is. Okay, so if we scroll down, it is Linux, and we'll get the Debian file. So accept license agreement, click that, and this will download. I did accidentally deleted the file, so I need to download it again. Shouldn't take no longer than a minute. Just gonna have a little sip of my drink while I wait, and we'll install this. So this will install not only Java, but the development tools that are part of Java as well. That allows you to develop in Java using other environments such as IntelliJ or Eclipse, for example. So just under a minute now. Almost done, and then we'll be able to install JDK for our system. So almost there, just less than 15 seconds now, less than 10 seconds now. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Here we go. So if we just open that, and this is open the Debian file up. So almost minimize this. So it's just launched it up, and if we click install, just type in your password. So this is just going to install the development kit. 16% is done. So again, just be patient, because once you've done this process, that's it. You only have to do once. Now that's installed now. So close that down, and as you see, there's nothing there. So if you just close this, close IntelliJ completely, run IntelliJ again. I just wanted to show you, what it might look like if you don't install it, just so if you ever come across that problem, you know how to fix it. Go to create a new project. As you can see, the JDK version is there, so we just click 11. We need to select Kotlin JVM, and apart from that, we are happy. Don't want to change anything else. Click next. Name your project. So I'm just going to say setup, and now project location. You can change the location if you want, and I'm going to change it to. I'll change it to desktop just so I can, easily access it, but that's up to you. And there are some more settings as well. You don't need to mess with any of them at this stage. So if we click finish, and we have our project now created. So if I click this project section, we can see, if we go to desktop, we go to, oopsie daisy, I made a little mistake. Let me just quickly rectify that. So what I actually did was I literally created it on the desktop. I wanted a separate folder. So if I create a separate folder and I call it setup, this is what we want. So create a separate folder. My bad, made a little mistake. Now run the IDE again. And when we select the project folder, we'll select this folder that we just created, and in there all the files will be saved. So close, and if I go to file, new project, and I want to select Kotlin, click next, and project name is going to be setup. Project location is desktop, and then setup. So the mistake I made was I just put desktop. If you had put the extra folder as well, you would have created the folder for you. So that was a mistake on my part. So you can even manually create it, or just make sure you type it here. Click finish. New window. So I'll close the old one down. Not interested in that. Go to project and setup. So we have a few little files here. So what we need to do to actually create some programs in Kotlin, we need to right click src, we need to go to new, we need to go to Kotlin file class, and then we need to name it. And we're just going to name it, I'm going to call it main, but you can call it whatever you want. And we got the .kt file, which is the Kotlin file. And let me have a look at the settings, the editor. I just want to increase the font size a little bit, just so it'll be easier for you to see, just in case you're viewing your mobile. So if I change that to 48, again, this is just an optional step, so this is just more for demonstration purposes, so it's easy to see. We need to create a main function, which is the main entry point of your application. So I'm not interested in installing this at the moment. So we're just going to say fun main, and it has some arguments. So args colon array, and this is a string. I'll explain all of this in a second. And now if I just like put a print line in here, let's say hello world. So that is just our really simple application. And to run it, just go to run. And if we just click run, select main kit, and this is gonna run it. So it's just compiling it, as you can see at the moment. And there you go, it says hello world. And that's it. It's as simple as that. We've created and set, or I should say, we've set up the IDE on Linux. We've created a Kotlin project. We've just done the main little function. So fun is the keyword function. Main is the main entry point that you always need in all applications. And these arguments, or I'll just turn the code around, these arguments are passed in by the compiler. This is just a little requirement. You can modify those arguments if you want to, depending on the way you run it. But we'll cover that, separately. And these curly braces just indicate this code is part of the method, and we can put more code as well. One thing I want to mention: Kotlin does not require semicolons. I am putting it because so many languages do, like C#, C, C++, Java, JavaScript, PHP, and if the language doesn't enforce semicolons but lets you use them, I'll recommend using them, just because it just creates that mindset. So when you do switch languages, you don't miss out the semicolons, which will really annoy you when it doesn't work. So that's just the reason why I'm using semicolons in this language. That's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to pop me a message, and as usual, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.